Mabuhay! I'm your discussant for today, Ricer Borja Santoyo, discussing the topic entitled Effective Teaching Strategies for 21st Century Teachers. Teachers play a key role in training students to develop the skills for the 21st century. The teacher is a guide to support student development from early childhood and throughout the learning process for children, youth, and adults, according to UNESCO 21. Traits of a 21st century teacher are the following: learner-centered, guide of learner producers, techie and willing to be won, global, open to learning, connect, flexible, and innovators. The 21st century skills. So here I gave an acronym for the 21st century skills, Tulay and Tuloy. The Tulay and Tuloy are the 21st century skills. The E stands for electronic. T stands for thinking critically, solving problems, reasoning, analysis, and interpretation. U stands for universality and flexibility. L for literacy on media and information. A, active productivity. Y, youth's collaboration skills. For ituloy, T stands for technology, digital literacy, and innovation. U for uplifting good moral values. L for leadership skills and social responsibilities, ethics, and skills. O for oral and written communication skills. And Y, youth's initiative, creativity, and imagination. So those are the 21st century skills that I gave the acronym Ituloy and Itulay. And now, let us define what do we mean by teaching strategies.
A teaching strategy is the method you use to convey information to your students. There may be a particular strategy that works well with your group of students one year that won't work with your students the next year. Because of this, it's important to have lots of teaching strategies in your toolbox.
I made the different qualities of a teacher as a strategist from the word strategy. S stands for SMART. The strategy that we will choose should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant to achieve our goals, and time-bound in learning. T, as a teacher, we should be trendy. The 21st century teacher is very fashionable as well as passionable too. You are up to date. Marami tayong bagong trends na nakikita. Sa kabila ng mga makabagong trends, naroroon pa rin ang ating mga puso bilang isang guro na makasabay at matuto dito. R stands for researchful and resourceful. As a strategist, we teachers are tending to do a lot of research and we adopt well to know on difficult situations and we are able to think creatively. A stands for active animator. Of course, we are the one that sets the goal for the strategy we think for our students, so we will also execute it to the fullest of our best. We need to motivate them to explore complex dimensions of knowledge. The skills set of students gets home. So E stands for encourager of activities. G, goal achiever. And Y, yearning a high yield of instructional strategies and positive learning outcome. Adapting to the new normal associated with COVID-19 was difficult, and then the new normal changed and changed again. The new normal is continuing to change, and there is no clear timeline for when we can expect our lives to return to the old normal. Teaching in the new normal is very challenging. The challenge to us teachers is to make use instructional design meaningful, memorable, motivational, and in the end measurable. We can use different instructional strategies which allow our students to have the capability to make meaningful connections between concepts learned in class and real life situations. We offer an opportunity to our students to demonstrate their knowledge and course correct on their own when needed. And also using different teaching methods which are rooted in theory of different teaching styles will not only help us as teachers reach their full potential, but more importantly, engage, motivate, and reach the students in their class, whether in person or online. There are some strategies that we can use in the different learning modalities, such as number one, visualization. Visualization refers to our ability to create pictures in our heads based on what we read or hear. Visual aids arouse the interest of learners and help the teachers explain the concepts easily. Visual aids are those instructional aids which are used in the classroom to encourage teaching learning process, and also uses of visual aids encourage the body movement and it may be strengthened the control. In making visual aid, whether it is modular or online, must be clear, concise, and of high quality. It should be large enough to be clearly visible to the entire group. Avoid unnecessary decoration. The important parts should be accentuated by the use of effects such as bright color. The key concept must be in a tabulated form so that the students will not be bored to read the concept. We can also use graphs, charts to present data. The audience should not be trying to read and listen at the same time. Use visual aids to highlight your points. One message per visual aid, for example, on a slide there should only be one key point. In online class, we can use GIFs, icons, symbols, and others para mas tutok sila sa pakikinig. The benefits of visual learning and teaching develop higher order thinking skills, hone fundamental abilities that enable students to see and conceptualize visuals clearly, enhance tactile hand-eye-mind connection that improve the ability to recall facts and retain learning. The benefits of visual learning and teaching develop higher order thinking skills, hone fundamental abilities that enable students to see and conceptualize visual clearly, Enhance tactile hand-eye mind connections that improve the ability to recall facts and retain learning. Auditory activities, participation in debates, listening to oral presentations, listening to something read aloud, watching demonstrations, interpreting graphs and tables, and watching video for visual activities. Number 2. Cooperative learning. Cooperative learning, the process of breaking a classroom of students into small groups so they can discover a new concept together and help each other learn. Benefits of cooperative learning. You get better grades. This has been statistically proven years and years in research done by the Johnson brothers. You have more positive relationships. Cooperative learning allows you to do or to get to know your classmates, your colleagues, your team members in a deeper professional manner. Your motivation increases. When you do well, you are motivated to continue to do well. And when you do well, you feel do good about to yourself. So you will have a higher self-esteem. You spend more time on task and get more accomplished. And when you fail a task and don't get a very good grade, you don't feel great about yourself and you are usually frustrated. Also, in a cooperative learning, you have a better attitude about learning. You can see all the benefits can really help strengthen you as a student. Number 3. Differentiated learning structure. As of now, mahirap ma-identify yung strength and weaknesses ng mga bata because when we don't have face-to-face classes, but a teacher, we have to determine ano yung need ng mga bata na pwede siguro nating sila i-assess based sa mga module na sinasagutan nila. Sa mga output na pinapasa nila, we can give or provide additional activities based on their needs. So, let us define this type of strategy, differentiation. So, it requires a teacher to deliver lessons at varying levels of difficulty based on the ability of the students. What differentiation is? Student-centered for all students, for heterogeneous groups, a change in philosophy about how learning should take place. Multiple approaches or options for content, process, and product. A mix of full class group and independent learning. More about quality than quantity. Here are some examples of differentiated strategies used in teaching. Differentiated strategies used in teaching. In this video, I will give at least 9 examples of strategies that are used in differentiated learning. So what is differentiated all about? What is it and what it is not? According to Carroll and Tomlinson, what it is attuning to the individual needs of students. Instead of one size fits of all, what it is not. It is the changing or watering down the curriculum or the student learning objectives. It doesn't mean that we are having different expectations from different students. One of the best metaphor for differentiation I really appreciate is the idea of climbing a mountain. Climbing a mountain is not one of my hobbies, but perhaps I have tried climbing a mountain, and that was the Mount Tarak when I was second year college. You know what? This unforgettable experience can now be translated and used as the reflection here on my discussion on the differentiated learning strategy. Anyone could start on a journey of climbing a mountain. Someone who is more experienced may take a different path than someone who is not. It would take me significantly longer than anyone that would take someone who experienced mountain climber. But the hope idea we're all going to the top. So in your classroom, regardless of the ability of your students in a differentiated learning environment, your goal is to have the same objective for all students. Everyone is going to the top. We just make and take a different path to get there. Every journey looks like different. As you can see in this picture, some take a route with a wide path, a path straight up, though the paths are different, both of all have persisting goal. As you look in this picture, you notice that some hikers have some walking sticks, some are wearing specialized shoes, some have their backpacks. Along the way, we might need a different supports, depending on our background, our comfort level, and others. So different types of students need different types of supports. It is not one type of size-fits-all system, for we're all hiking the same. Here are some examples of differentiated strategies used in teaching. Number 1. Create learning stations. Provide different sets of content by setting up learning stations. Divide the sections of your classroom to which groups students rotate. Each station should use a unique method of teaching skill or concept related to lesson. Example, watching a video, creating artwork, reading an article, completing puzzle, and listening to your teacher. Number 2, target different senses. A lesson should resonate with more students if it targets visual, tactile, auditory, and kinesthetic senses instead of only one. When applicable, appeal to arrange the learning styles by playing videos, using infographics, providing audiobooks, rollout playing, incorporate charts and illustrations within text, giving both spoken and within directions to tasks, using relevant physical objects such as money when teaching math skills, allotting time for students to create artistic reflections and interpretations of lesson. 3. Use task cards. Like learning stations, task cards allow you to give students a range of content. Answering task cards can be a small group activity. Set up stations around your classroom and pair students together to rotate through them. You can individualize instruction by monitoring the pairs, acknowledging gaps when need them. 4. Share your own strengths and weaknesses. Number 5. Interview your student. Number 6. Use the Think, Pair, Share strategy. The Think, Pair, Share strategy exposes students to 3 lesson processing experiences within one activity. Think, as the strategy name implies, start by asking students to individually think about a given topic or answer a specific question. Next, pair students together to discuss their results and findings. Share. Finally, have each pair share their ideas with the rest of the class and open the floor for further discussion. Number 7. Make time for journaling. When possible, at the end of class, give students a chance to make a journal entry by summarizing key points they've learned, attempting to answer or make sense of lingering questions, explaining how they can use the lessons in real-life scenarios, and illustrating new concepts which can be especially helpful for data-focused lessons. And number 8, we have group students with a learning topic, and 9, assigned open-type ended question. So those are some examples of differentiated strategies. Number 4. Using technology. Synchronous. Students learn at the same time. Communication happens in real time. Possibly more engaging and effective, allows for instant feedback and clarification. Examples of synchronous: video conferencing, live chat, live stream videos. Times. Communication is not live, possibly more convenient and flexible. Allows students to work at their own pace. Examples: email, screencast, Flipgrid videos, blog post comments.
Classroom. 1. Run a virtual field trip. If a location is out of reach due to logistical issues, you can simulate a virtual trip. Applications to use for such trips include Google Earth, Skype, YouTube, etc. 2. Use videos for mini lessons. You can make your lesson more interesting by using videos or standalone for some topics. Research has shown that the use of animated videos can positively impact a child's development. Applications to use include YouTube, TED-Ed, and so much more. 3. Coordinate live videos. You don't have to limit yourself to recorded videos, as conferencing technology can allow subject matter experts to deliver lessons from every part of the world. Platforms to use include Google Hangouts, which is a critical tool in coordinating live videos, to Skype, which is a paramount tool that is used universally for both students and teachers. Number 4. Add multimedia elements to presentations. Whereas slideshows presentation entirely made up of text can disengage students, ones with multimedia elements like images, sound effects, graphs, and pictographs can effectively hold their attention. Number 5. Study, review, and critique content on web pages. Here is a technology-focused spin on note-taking. Find a web page with content reflecting or reflected to your lesson and get students to make notes directly on the page. Applications to use include Google Docs, which is free online, and Bounce, which is a very important educational technology tool. Number 6, launch a wiki page for a collaborative assignment. Collaborations doesn't have to take place face-to-face, as you can give group assignments focused on creating a wiki page. There are many programs you can use to create wiki pages, which are web pages that different people can edit, both online and offline. Examples of such pages include Wikispaces, Bloggers, and EduBlog.
Number 5. Inquiry-based instruction. Inquiry-based strategy. It is an approach to learning that emphasizes the student's role in the learning process. It is a student-centered approach. It emphasizes students' role in the process rather than the teacher telling students what they need to know. Students are encouraged to explore the material, ask questions, and share ideas. Inquiry enables students to learn through curiosity, discovery, and collaboration rather than being presented with facts through direct instruction. It encourages students to ask thought-provoking questions, investigate widely and deeply, make sense of information to build new knowledge. When students can bring their natural curiosity to an inquiry and are able to make decisions about their own learning, they can be more engaged, motivated, and confident. They can also gain a deeper understanding. Inquiry learning helps students to develop information skills such as reading, finding, evaluating, using, creating, and sharing information. It also develops their ability to ask meaningful questions and think critically, including analyzing and evaluating information from opinions or theories. Inquiry-based learning. Engage. Students formulate their own questions related to their learning subject. As an inquiry is seeking for truth, information, or knowledge, seeking information by questioning. The process of inquiring begins with gathering information and data through applying the human senses, seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, and smelling. Examples: show pictures of observation, video clips, kinesthetic activities. Number 2, exploration. Students plan, research, and investigate by conducting experiment. The exploration phase provides students with a common base of hands-on activities. These activities will help students use prior knowledge to inquire, generate new ideas, and conduct a preliminary investigation. This phase of the learning cycle usually incorporates the main inquiry-based experience, which nurtures students' understanding. Number 3, create explanation. Students explain their understanding of concepts and the teacher corrects students' misconceptions. During this phase, the teacher may provide formal definitions, notes, and labels. 4, elaboration. Discuss, share, and report data gathered. In the elaboration phase, students are encouraged to apply their new understanding of concepts. While enforcing new skills, students may conduct additional investigations, develop products, share information and ideas, or apply their knowledge and skills. This stage in the learning cycle presents opportunities for the teacher to integrate science with other content areas. 5. Last, evaluation. Students reflect, think again about the initial question, the path taken and the actual conclusion, and maybe take some new decision. And also, the evaluation phase encourages students to assess their understanding and abilities and provides opportunities for teachers to evaluate student progress toward achieving the educational objectives. Number 6. Behavior management. In online class, we can give rules before we start a class. In modular learning, we can also give rules like how they will answer their module, the time, and the time frame. So let us define behavior management. Behavior management in the classroom means creating and maintaining an environment conducive to their learning and your sanity. I have here 10 behavior management ideas as a guide for your classroom. 1. Give name of the class. 2. Build relationship kahit walang face-to-face by kamustahan in GC or Zoomasan using the Zoom. 3. Create class rules like answering module. Do not copy the answer at the back of their module. Do not write anything in their module by writing simple note or announce in their GC. 4. Set clear routines for everything you would like students to do in your subject. Present weekly home learning plan or schedule of their task. 5. Choose a reward system that is easy to manage. Virtual honors assembly giving certificate or ribbons. 6. Error in the module, quick correction. Huwag natin hayaang matapos nila ang module na hindi natin na itama yung dapat itama. Always check queries of the students. 7. Parents na kulit, be calm. 8. Posting activities by covering the identity of the students and minimize expectation. So, those are the behavior management ideas as a guide for your classroom. Magtatapos, no? So, how do we manage behavior in a virtual classroom? So, instruction should be differentiated. In fact, there are some benefits that come with online classroom management strategies. For example, holding discussions over a computer makes it more difficult for a few students to dominate the debate and potentially helps all students have a voice. In addition, findings from our 6th Annual Educator Confidence Report indicate that teachers have found opportunities to try new technologies and more regularly connect with families. Here are some tips in managing behavior in a virtual classroom. 1. Put distractions away. 2. Treat the webcam like a person. 3. Have a dress code. 4. Address discipline issues fast. 5. Teach lessons that privilege text. 6. Add visual cues to your lessons. 7. Flip the classroom. 8. Decide on signals. 9. Hold class wherever you can hold students' attention. And 10. Create a question parking lot. For number 6, in a virtual classroom, you control what students are looking at in a more direct way than in-person class. And you can use that to your advantage as you're sharing your screen, making slides, or even picking your webcam background. Decide on visual cues that can indicate particular actions. For example, a notebook icon can mean it's time to write, or playground slide can mean you can get up and move around. As students increasingly used to these icons, you can proactively manage your classroom as you design your lessons. Flip the classroom. It's hard enough trying to control a classroom where you're giving whole class instruction. If you've thought about or even experimented with flipping the classroom before, now it's the time to dive in. Use your time together to go through practice problems. You're more likely to engage students, elicit questions, and encourage debate. Save the dry lectures and rote instruction for when the students are off camera and working on their own time. Those part of the class can even be recorded and sent to students to watch later when it doesn't matter what pets or siblings are walking in the room. Today, and here are some of my references that I gathered in order for this topic to be fully finished. Teachers are the light that shines in the darkness, providing a beacon of hope, resources, opportunity, choices, and access to the many pathways leading to the future. Teachers unlock the doors to a love of learning that will hopefully last a lifetime. I believe this pandemic will teach us many lessons. You are all heroes. Every day of this pandemic, you have blown us away with your creativity, compassion, and commitment, your tenacity and heart. You have moved mountains to reach each child, wherever they are, and despite the challenges that stand in your way, you've taught math classes while standing outside of homes, led online meditations to start the school day, created PE classes from your living room, finished DIY science experiments, and found ways to check in with each kid. You've not only taught lessons, you have been our children's lifeline to normalcy and stability, a theater and a point of connection. So let us watch this video.
So you're the teacher?
I teach high school English. All right, everyone, it is quiz time.
You can go, you can start all over again.
E equals MC squared.
Another day go by. You can hide, hold all your feelings inside.
I don't think I can say. They're gonna laugh at me.
You've got something everybody wants. You've got talent.
And maybe someday we'll figure all this out.
This is basketball, man.
These boys are student athletes. Student comes first.
We'll make things better now. And maybe someday
You're a first-time teacher. You can't make someone want on vacation.
better off somehow. Someday. Now wait and try to find
If they weren't here, everything would be better for you.
Stop acting like you're trying to understand our situation.
Why don't you explain it to me?
you can run. And when everything is over,
Anything is possible. I'm freaking. I am ready. I'm gonna turn you into Kung Fu masters. Nobody said this was gonna be easy. I will teach you.
a way to make things better now. And maybe someday we'll live our lives out loud. We'll be better off somehow. Someday.
One player triumph, we all triumph, right?
We're gonna finish what you started, sir.
You're changing that boy's life. No, he's changing mine.
Chances are when it's said and done, who'll be the lucky ones who make it all the way? Though you say I could be your answer, nothing lasts forever, no matter how it feels today. Chances are we'll find two destinations. Chances won't wait.
I salute all the warrior educators of DepEd Bataan in performing your great role in service amidst of this unpredictable situation. Muli, maraming salamat po. Ito po si R-ishare Santoyo. Sama-sama nating ituloy at ituloy ang sulong edukalidad para sa kabataan. Maraming salamat po.